Welcome back. Welcome back. It's General and Big Laz here. Big Laz here is gonna do something different.
Do something different.
We're gonna get a little dark, a little serious. And if you're not a fan of this, we understand. With that said, just keep in mind this is something that I like to, and do research on, investigate in. I'm an atheist by heart. I just don't believe in man preaching men or whatever. Um, that's it. Let's just see what Big Laz is gonna bring to the table.
All right. So now this is the first
Be warned.
TK Beyond. So
Beyond.
there should be a
Yeah, I'm gonna do some crawl
and some weird music
alien music right there.
because now we're gonna talk. Every week we're gonna talk about some paranormal stories, paranormal conspiracies, something like that, right? And the first one I want to do is I'm gonna quiz. We're gonna talk to the general. I'm gonna ask him a series of questions.
Okay, Big Laz here is huge on comics, but I'm huge on this part. So
we're gonna discuss something. The moon landing. Okay, now I'm really big into the conspiracies, and I love watching From the Earth to the Moon from HBO. I love watching Apollo 13. I love watching anything.
Apollo 13 is amazing.
Anything that has to do with old school NASA, and
that's still a great movie though. Apollo 13.
What was always also interested me was these stories about Stanley Kubrick. If you guys don't know who Stanley Kubrick is, he's the guy that directed 2001, A Clockwork Orange, The Shining. Okay, so he directed some big classic movies, and he was so good. Like this guy, guys don't realize that he was so
the girls are still dancing.
He was so revered, and he had so much respect that he was bigger than Spielberg, Scorsese, any director you can think of today. He was bigger than all of them because he was his art was it was so beyond. Okay, 2001, the effects in that. If you go back, that's from 1968. Those effects still stand up today in 2016, and he invented those effects that we take for granted now.
But where are we going?
Okay. He was so respected that there's a lot of conspiracy theories that suggest that
he had future technology.
No,
I was gonna say what?
No, that in 1968 or 1967, the government knew that there was no way that they could get anybody on the moon before 1970. Okay, and that was the whole thing. Because Kennedy came out in 1960 and said we're going to get somebody on the moon before the decade is out. Then he was killed. He was assassinated, which meant that symbolically they had to, and the American people expected them to fulfill that by the end of the decade. Otherwise, they would look bad to the Russians, right? Okay, so now the theory is that the United States government knew that they could not fulfill that. They did not have the technology to do it in the time. So they had to go to Stanley Kubrick in a ultra secret clandestine meetings at Area 51, and they had to pitch him the idea that he would use his directorial expertise to fake the moon landings. Okay, and fake them in a way that looked real enough, but still looked like it was not done professionally.
All right, well,
so that was a theory. Okay, that was a theory that Stanley Kubrick actually was the one that filmed the moon landings. In fact, Stanley Kubrick directed the entire space program. Okay, he directed it. He wrote it and he directed the entire space program, from all the Apollo moon landings to.
Well, let me backtrack to the Kennedy things. Kennedy wanted to go to the moon, obviously.
Right.
But what they don't tell you is during that time of Kennedy's presidency, it's when they found the Black Knight, or the Black Satellite.
Right.
There's a black satellite orbiting Earth right now. The age is probably about 200,000 years old, maybe older. This thing shapeshifts and can morph into other type of objects.
Now,
And it has there's sounds that it's vibrating or whatever, but it's an object. Now, Kennedy's like, what the fuck is that? And how come we don't have eyes on it?
hmm,
Obviously, this is when Russia was doing like that orbiter. They had what is it, the Sputnik or whatever, their first fucking orbiter out there.
I
Whatever.
think what it was is that they discovered it in the late 50s when Eisenhower was still in power, and there was nothing up there. There was nothing.
Nothing.
We had nothing. There was no satellites. There was nothing up in orbit.
But here's the deal. If you really want to go into this, I suggest everybody that's even like still watching this, look up a man named Billy Meyer.
Oh,
Billy Meyer. I
I
know
don't know about that guy. That guy's a crackpot.
You say that. Billy Meyer has had photographs of satellites over Earth, satellites over Mars, before we even went to the fucking moon.
Yeah, but
Well, no, before this guy directed the
I know,
moon
but
landing.
Billy Meyer's photographs are all doctored, man.
How do you know that?
Because I mean,
You're believing what the government tells you. The
No,
man
no,
has
no.
never been to school. The man has never had any fucking prior actual like what do you call that? Like professional classes for photography.
I know, but his pictures they look bad.
it's in the 60s and 50s.
they look bad. Like
No, the
they,
thing about it is he had 2 photographs, which some fucking government people broke into his house, shot him, and took him. He only had 8 pictures left, and those 8 pictures broke YouTube worldwide.
okay.
Right? I'm not talking about the UFOs that look like trash cans and the little fucking bubbles on them. No, he has actual pictures from the space ones.
The only thing about Billy Meyer, I would say, is that his ideas and his theories are way out there. Okay,
It's
they're
not
way
that
out.
they're ideas or theories. He doesn't ever say believe me.
His evidence, I've seen that when he's done a conference where he brought out his scrapbook
Yeah.
with all his pictures. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I'll say Billy Meyer.
No, I'm
he
not.
might
Look, I'm just saying this is my reference. He's
he
my
might
reference.
believe what he's saying, and
But I'm going to use this to go to where you're going with
Mm.
the moon landing. Okay,
Mm.
I'm just saying. Kennedy had found out that they were already on the moon. There was something there already on the moon, and he was not cool with the fact that people, us regular people, aren't being told that.
so there was already a base on the moon.
Yeah, it wasn't ours though.
Okay, whose was it?
Don't know. I can't say if it was.
Even the
alien.
Russians didn't know.
Russians didn't know. They weren't claiming it.
So that was the space race. That's
That was
why.
a space race.
Okay.
For that reason. But the thing that got Kennedy shot is, hey, people need to know this. Kennedy's dead now.
So it had nothing to do with Vietnam or
No. None of
or
that.
a shadow conspiracy
None of
to
that.
take over the
He
government.
might have had his own fucking like dirty deeds or whatever. But the fact that he wanted to tell the people, hey, there's a fucking base on the moon and it's not American.
Well, wait a second. But why would Kennedy even want to say that?
Because when he found out, he was under the impression that the government would share everything with the people.
Well,
Because if you notice, he was one of those like just outside presidents that got bought into the presidency.
Mhm.
Right? He was popular, handsome, and young.
hmm
He wasn't one of these puppets being controlled.
right.
So he's like, look, I want to tell the people, and they're like, okay, Mr. President, go ahead.
Well,
Shoot.
that's a good theory. That's a good
my
one.
theory. Now, I'm not saying it's real.
No.
I'm just saying it falls into place, with the whole space race and all that stuff. I'm not telling you to believe in Billy Meyer, but I'm just saying that's my main resource.
That's a
I've
good
done
one.
I've done like 12 years with Billy Myers. I'm not saying he's the best resource because you have John Lear, Billy Meyer, Phil Schneider, all these people that you can look into, and they all refer to Billy Meyer.
Is there a top guy for like the fake moon landings? Top
John
guy?
Lear. John
John
Lear. He was a pilot back for the Air Force.
Okay.
He actually got to test pilot some of the HARP ones and some of the original B-52s. He
Okay.
says they are space capable.
Now, do you believe that the actual footage that we saw
Was fake?
was fake?
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
I believe we went to the moon, but you got to understand people.
Why would they fake?
Because we didn't have the technology to have cameras out there in fucking space. And we'd have to fake it because Neil Armstrong, correct? He went on record saying there's pyramids, there's broken cities, there's huge domes, glass cities, right?
And how come we can't see it from telescopes?
Oh, because it's on the dark side of the moon.
Oh, it's on the other side.
And it's just funny because people believe that the moon is a planet
It's not.
or a moon. It's not. Moons and planets rotate.
Oh my God! Who thought it was a planet?
No, not a planet. I'm sorry, but like a moon. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's me. I'm drinking. Whatever.
Wait. I was like, what? No, I believed you. I believe you. We live in
No,
San
no.
Antonio,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of dumbass
Yeah,
people
okay, I'll get you
that
on
will
that one.
probably say,
It was
"Oh,
a
a planet?
planet. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, but moons rotate just like Earth. They spin, right?
Okay, right.
You're able to see all sides. But apparently, this moon just stays on one side. Like, what you got? Huh? I got this. You never see the dark side of the moon. Satellites do that. And when Neil said when they landed, you could hear the echo from the inside. It was loud when that ship landed. That shit landed.
So
on
you're
the
saying
moon.
it's hollow
It's hollow. I'm saying there's shit in there.
underground?
Yeah. Now that's just me. You can call me crazy or stupid or whatever. I'm just saying.
So, okay, so now, if there
But
was,
that's why it was fake because there's like so much things that they can't show
that
you
they
on
couldn't
there.
show,
Yeah.
right? So they had to show something.
There's lost footage of the pyramids that they had, but
They
keep taking it down.
So you're saying they had to show something, but they couldn't show what was really there.
Yeah, so I believe that it was a fake video of the moon landing, but that doesn't take away that we were there.
Oh, but we were there.
We were there,
Okay.
but
So
they had to fake the video.
which is a separate conspiracy theory from the conspiracy
yeah, from everything on
from
there.
the other ones that say that we didn't go at all.
No, we went. We went.
So what would be to you what would be a harder conspiracy to keep quiet? The fact that we didn't go at all.
I think the fact that it was fake because then they would have to explain why it's fake.
So that's a harder conspiracy to
Yeah,
keep
because
quiet?
a lot of people keep picking at it. Like, oh, well, look at here, look at this frame. There was this one guy who took, like, I give it to this nerd, man. He did a fucking geometric fucking shape of the whole area, and he lined it up perfectly with this area in Nevada.
Right.
And it was an area in Nevada with the same shapes and everything that you saw on the moon landing. That was black and white, but it was in Nevada.
So how about this? Wouldn't it have been easier? Wouldn't it have been easier for them to just say, when we go to the moon, we're not going to be able to show any pictures because we don't have the technology to show pictures.
Yes, but I don't know why they didn't think of that back then.
Well, see, there you go. That's a hole in that
Yeah.
theory.
They could just like, hey, look at these moon rocks we brought back. People wouldn't believe that.
That's a hole in that theory, though, because it would be a lot easier to just say, look, we don't have the technology to show pictures. We can take
We
photographs.
spent all our money building this awesome rocket ship.
Right, we can take photographs, but we can't send a signal.
No, hey, that's believable. Especially to people back then in the
Well, I'll
60s.
say one thing. How come they wouldn't be able to send a signal?
I'm just saying, how much technology did we have back then?
They had enough.
No, I don't know.
They had enough, apparently.
No, we were just fucking monkeys with fucking fireworks shooting ourselves up in skies. That's our
I
technology.
wouldn't say that. I mean, because think about it. Okay, a lot of the conspiracy theory.
No,
okay.
but you're asking me, like, is this believable in the 60s?
I know,
yes,
but-
it is.
Well, okay, how about this? You're saying that they couldn't send a signal.
No, I'm saying that's believable that they wouldn't be able to have signals to the moon and Earth in the 60s.
Okay.
That's why they can't show
Have you ever done
the
any research
landing.
on that?
No, it's not. I'm just saying, like, that would be believable.
Okay, it'll be believable. Okay. But
Because,
what,
it's better than just showing them a fake. It looked pretty good to me.
Mm.
Showing them a fake moon landing. And I can see why they did that, giving the people hope and stuff. First small step for man and shit
well,
like that.
I go more on the idea that you're not going with. Because you're going halfway with it.
What do
but
you
you're
mean
not
halfway?
Yeah, you're going halfway with it, but you're not going all the way. It's like,
I don't need to go
is
all the
that-
way. I'm just giving you an
is-
option of what's believable.
is that they did have the technology to send photos and TV from the moon,
Yes,
but they chose not to
because people would
because of what they would see up there.
Well, the thing about it is, people didn't know what kind of technology the government had in the 60s. The government had the technologies in the 60s in the 90s.
But
Let me
you're-
rephrase that. They had technology that was compatible, like, from the late 90s and the 60s.
You're forgetting about Roswell now.
Fuck Roswell. I'm not talking about Roswell.
Yeah, but Roswell was 1947. Remember that.
We're talking about 60s.
But
right
think
now.
about this. How about this? Okay, before 1947,
Yeah, there was no TV.
we
no
couldn't.
nothing.
We
I
yeah,
know, I
they
know.
couldn't send.
That's small.
was-
That's small. Let's
There was
sticking
but,
to
no,
this.
but this is all connected.
You're angering me.
This is all connected. Okay, Roswell. Before Roswell, there was not even any idea. Like it was complete science fiction of anybody going anywhere outside of
Yeah, I know,
Earth, right? Okay. 10 years later, the Russians are sending somebody up into orbit. Okay, and then 3 years later, we're sending somebody up into orbit, and then 9 years later, we're sending people on the moon. And you know how far that is? That's a 3-day trip. over 300 million miles. That's
All right, but where are
insanely
we
far.
going with this, though?
Okay, I'm saying is that we did have the technology to do a lot more
Yeah, we did.
than what they said.
But it would be hard for the government to say, "Oh, hey, people from the '60s and '50s, guess what? We have future technology that you weren't aware of."
Well, no,
That would blow their fucking
no,
minds.
it wouldn't exactly be future technology because it's not. It's reverse engineered.
It would still be considered future technology because our primitive minds back then would consider that future technology.
Well, it depends how you reverse
What do you
engineer.
mean it depends?
It
We're
does.
not from the '60s. You seen how dumb people were in the '60s? Like a TV blew our minds.
Well, think about that. How come that didn't whoa, and raise some eyebrows?
Yeah, well, they got
TV.
that because of the Roswell, the fiber optics and all that.
Yes,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is that they brought things out slowly over time. They didn't just say, "Fuck, 1961. Here's a damn iPhone." No, they didn't do that. Oh my god, and that's
there's somebody speaking.
oh my,
It's a
what
witch.
is this? No, they said, look,
Burn it.
Look, we don't want to blow people's heads up. We're gonna unveil this reverse engineered technology increments. Slowly.
Yeah, I know, but we're on the moon right now.
Right.
So I'm just saying, I think, from my perspective, right, I think it would be believable, or not believable, understandable for the government to say is, we don't have the right technology right now to show you the moon landing. But maybe if they would have just they said, but we can air it on a radio or something. You gotta think about it. This is the '60s, man. Nobody really cared about technology that much because they were focused on TVs. And what was the big thing coming out with the microwave? Back then, that was huge. So I think if they would they say, hey, we're gonna go to the moon, but we're not gonna be able to show it. We're gonna come back with pictures or live feed of pictures, something like that.
So why spend millions to fake it?
I'm pretty sure that director wanted money.
There was millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because not only do you have to spend millions of dollars for the production, but you have to spend money to keep people quiet.
Yeah.
Pay them off. So that's a lot of money.
And the technology that director needed back then was pretty up there, man.
So I go with more in your theory that yes, they went up there. Yes, it was faked, what we saw on TV. But no, we didn't do it because we didn't have the technology to send radio signals or TV signals.
No, you asked me what would I say to the public back then, and that's what my excuse would be. We don't have the technology to show you.
So then I wouldn't even bother with faking it.
Yeah. Because you just asked me, in my opinion, what instead of faking it, what would I do? That's what I would do. I would be like, oh, hey, we didn't fucking spend any money making it.
But you also said that we didn't have the technology. That would be more believable to you. That we didn't have the technology.
It's not that we didn't have the technology. The government didn't want you to know they had the technology. Because they would have to explain to you how they got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
saw a whole other...
pyramids up there.
Yeah, they saw pyramids. They saw anomalies.
But you're saying that they're only on the dark side.
On the dark side of the moon. That's why the moon only stays on one side. And Neil Armstrong even took a very famous picture that's been floating throughout the internet of the floating castle. Remember it's supposed to be like a diamond fucking castle that's a mile above the moon on the dark side. It's fucking floating. Nobody, I can't fathom that. But yeah, there's a lot of shit on there.
That's some bizarre stuff, man. So how about this? What do you think about when these conspiracy theorists talk about how they're reasons for us that we didn't go? Okay.
What do you mean that people that believe that we just never went to the moon at all?
Yes.
That's stupid.
Okay. Now the first thing they talk about is that around the Earth there's a belt of radiation called the Van Allen belts, and it's been proven that these belts they're what keeps the radiation that bombards the planet out. But if you pass through these belts, you will be subject to a lot of radiation, cosmic rays, fucking Fantastic Four style and shit.
I don't know why people don't believe that we can't make it past, because a high percentage of astronauts die from cancer, from being exposed to that. So for them to say we wouldn't be able to make it past, they do, but they pay the ultimate price. They die. They have cancer. They get cancer by the age of 40. Just, that's it.
So I mean, the thing about that is that what they don't understand is that when the spaceship's going, it's not going 25 miles an hour.
Oh, no.
It's going like a bullet. Okay.
You gotta go bullet.
So You think,
like
well,
Mach 6.
yeah, so you think, well, exactly how long did they spend in these damn belts? Not very long. So they got a little bit of radiation.
It's mere, what, 7 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, they got
Total.
radiation, and remember, the damn spaceship was built to withstand radiation. I mean, that's why it got foil on it, you know.
And they'd still wear suits while in there.
Right. Okay. Now here's the other theory. There were no stars in any of the pictures on the
Nope.
moon.
Nope, none at all.
Okay. Why would you think there would be no stars?
That's bullshit, because that's faked right there.
Oh yes, that's
Yeah.
remember.
And what caught me the first time is when you see it again,
Mhm.
the flag moves as if there's wind on the moon. How do you explain wind on the moon if there's no atmosphere on there?
Well, that means that there's no
There's no space
gravity.
wind that goes.
There's no gravity. What do you say to those people that think, well, if you're Stanley Kubrick, how come I didn't notice that? If you're Stanley Kubrick, how come you didn't notice there's no stars? Now, I've seen some simulation where they simulated why there was no stars. Now,
What was
the reason why there was no stars is because it's a simple thing. It's because the exposure on the film, okay, when they took a picture, okay, it was a setting where they could actually see what's happening because everything was insanely bright. Because remember, there's no atmosphere, so it's nothing but direct sunlight, like the brightest sunlight you could think of. The
That's
ground,
bullshit, because they passed the dark side of the moon.
the minerals that cover the dust that covers the moon, it's made of properties that are reflective, right? They're insanely reflective. So they adjusted the setting on what would be the setting that you would put on a normal camera, right? If you're taking this picture. So they put the setting, and it's just a big flash of light because it's nothing but brightness from the minerals on the ground. But you can see stars.
I don't know.
You can see stars. So then they
you
adjust.
can see stars as if you were looking at them from here,
Right now,
like one or two.
what they're saying is that it's so bright, everything was so bright that they had to change the exposure settings to a certain point where you could see the astronaut getting out of the shuttle, the space suit, but everything else was blacked out. The sky.
I'll give them that one, only because I've seen live footage of NASA when they're in orbit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see massive stars.
That is true.
You don't. You
That is
see
true.
like one or two.
Because it's so bright.
Well, from what the Earth's atmosphere is giving off, it's really bright.
It's so bright.
And
the
it
exposure setting.
focuses
Right.
pretty much on just a small area. Only because I believe they have cameras that can just focus on certain areas, and they don't want you to see what's really out there.
Right. That could be also true. Now another one.
It's a good setting for a camera.
Now another one. Another one was when they landed, there was no crater. And it's in the pictures.
Yeah,
There's no craters. There's nothing.
When they took off, they made one though.
Not even when they took off.
No, the only thing when they took off, there was like a little.
There was
like punching sand.
there was a little dust up, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But when they landed, there would have been a crater.
Yeah.
How come there wasn't one? It was like
Well, that was the fake part of it.
there you go. There you go.
Fake part of it. Because when Neil talks about it, Neil talks to John Lear about it.
Mhm.
John Lear's. I urge you people, if you don't want to look at fucking Billy Meyer, yeah, a part of me's gonna say fuck you, but that's cool. It's cool. Just search up John Lear. He talks about talking to Neil Armstrong about it, and he was like, when they landed, you could hear that echo, that powerful echo.
What do you think about that?
I'm a big believer that the moon is just pretty much a satellite, man. It's not a moon. It's not a moon's fucking rotating. How come this one doesn't?
Wait, where it rotates?
Yeah, like rotate with us.
How do we know it doesn't rotate?
What do you mean how it? If they classify it as a moon by our planet's gravitational fucking pull, by all means, it should spin and rotate. They're saying this moon is so boss, it just does what it wants. It stays on one side, like.
And what, like, yeah, that's. Have you ever looked up like why it would do that?
As far as looking up, this is our fourth moon. Earth's fourth moon. We had 3 moons prior to this, and I think they were during the dinosaur ages. And
Now, what do you think about the theory that it was a piece of the Earth that broke off?
I can.
Oh.
Here's the thing on that. I want to say yes and no. Yes, because during the dinosaurs, we got hit hard,
Hmm.
and the Earth was fucking bigger than what it is now.
Hmm.
What are we at? Like at fucking? What did they say? We're down to 60% of what
The
the Earth
mass.
was. Yeah,
Hmm.
60% of what out of the 100 that what we used to be.
Yeah.
We got hit. We got hit hard. The three moons that were there are no longer there. All of a sudden, just I don't even know when this. The scientists don't even know when this moon appeared.
How old it is?
Yeah,
Well,
they could say like 2 million or something
well,
like
the
that.
thing is that
But that's conveniently after the dinosaur ages. But a moon wouldn't just develop that big
Hmm.
and not spin or rotate. That's my big issue on it. Every fucking moon rotates,
Hmm.
spins, and this one's just perfect size, perfect gravitational pull for us, and perfect in every way. But it's too big for our planet's gravitation. That's not a that's a big moon for this small planet.
Right, right.
It's too big. What is it? 1/3 of our size, right?
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, we can't fucking sustain that. So how is it there? How is it always in the right spot, and why doesn't it rotate?
That's an interesting question.
So that's just weird. Like, and for people to be like, "Oh, you're stupid." There's some moons just stay still. Explain that then. It shouldn't be called a moon if it stays still.
What should they call it?
I don't know, a rock,
A satellite.
satellite. But I'm crazy for saying that. I don't know.
Well, there
But
is.
that's why I say yes and no. I can believe that it could be a part of the Earth, but I
Mhm.
can say I want to say that it's built.
Mhm.
That they built
It's
it
built.
that way. Yeah,
It's built.
because we can't. This planet can't hold a moon that big.
Why do you say that?
It's too big. The mass. It would just fuck you, Earth. Punched us.
Mhm.
Destroyed us.
So, going back to the aliens that are on the dark side of the moon. Now, are they still here?
Well, I don't know.
Or is
I
that
mean, there was an awesome film, bro. Of I don't even know. I think it was Apollo 17 or 18. Early 90s, late 80s, that they went on the moon and they recovered a body from a
Mhm.
ship.
Mhm.
Now, this ship is massive. It's broken in half, and the half of it is about the size of the Empire State Building.
Right, right, right.
It's on the moon, on the dark side of the moon.
Mhm.
They have the pictures and everything is clear. It looks cool. It's a very famous cigar-shaped type fucking UFOs. And they went in there and they found what they call this Palladian. Government acknowledges that there are Palladians out there. It's an alien species.
Well, the government has acknowledged that.
Yes, they have. They just
So
haven't
who-
acknowledged it publicly.
Okay, well,
They've
then.
acknowledged it in the disclosure projects, at the U.S. summits, and at the UN. The
Okay, now,
UN
was this a
nations.
documentary or was this a movie?
Yeah, you can look up Dr. Stephen Greer. He brought it upon government, brought it upon the UN and everything, and they acknowledged it. Like, yeah, Palladians are real. They're not going to say it publicly. They
Well,
don't
how
have
come-
to say it publicly.
Well, how do you know this?
Just look up Dr. John fucking Green.
So then that would make it public, though.
Yeah, it would, but people don't know about it because the government doesn't have to say that. Now, John, I forget his name, Dr. Greer. I'm sorry, Dr. Greer. He's doing his best to get it out there, bro. But you get a lot of fucking people like, oh, that's not real, whatever. Just give me some tits and ass on YouTube.
Okay, now.
Like he's just trying to spread the word, but nobody's giving it like any two shits about it.
Okay, now, have you seen this documentary? There's a documentary about a professional government spook.
Mhm.
And now, he was paid by the government since the 60s
Mhm.
to infiltrate UFO communities,
Mhm.
infiltrate UFO people that have their stories about UFO
Yeah.
abductions and things like that. And he was paid by the government to spread disinformation about vast conspiracies, or just enough, give people just enough
To run on, yeah.
to run on,
Yeah.
on wild goose chases towards something that was different, completely
Yeah.
like,
Dude, you have regular people like that in the community alone. You don't need fucking government spooks to do that.
he was a paid one.
Yeah, I know, but I mean that's a 50-50. I'm not saying that all the theories out there are accurate.
Nah.
I'm just saying it's a little bit like it's worth to look at. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Do your own
do
research
and then make up your own decision
and come
on
up with
it.
your own
Yeah.
conclusions.
But if you want like the hardcore researcher guy, like I said, Phil Schneider, he was killed talking about this openly. He carried pieces of fucking UFO ships, pieces of material that weren't from this planet. John Greer, I believe is his name. He's a doctor. Spent his whole life about that.
Hmm.
And Mr. Billy Meyer. Like, those are the top three people that you want to look into. Now, you can call them crazy or whatever, but they have some pretty good, strong theories.
I have a question for you.
Mm.
Okay, we've had the ability to go to the moon. We stopped going, or did we?
No,
In
I don't think we.
1972.
The thing about what John Lear said that he was told from Billy, from Neil, I'm sorry, is that they went to the moon, and he says they they didn't want us to go back.
They said no.
Whoever was on the moon that's not human didn't want us back on there
After what?
after they landed.
After
on it.
6 missions.
I believe it was like after the second one.
No, they did 6 missions.
Yeah, they still go up there, but it's not on the dark side.
Huh. It's these are missions that nobody talks about.
Yeah.
They're completely top secret.
Mm.
Okay. Now another question here. So if we've gone to the moon,
I still think we go there, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
why? I mean, what
Well,
will be?
Harp has a fucking. John Lear talks about.
If there's these creatures on the moon that
I'm
said
not.
don't
Well,
go,
I'm not talking about the aliens. I mean, that's what Neil Armstrong said. He said, "Hey, we're not welcome back."
I know. So why would they go?
Oh, I don't know, man. Here's the thing about it. It's 2000 now. 2016.
Mhm.
They went during the fucking 50s and 60s, right?
60s, late,
And
early 70s.
no, we were told that they actually landed like as like late as the late 50s.
Wait, the aliens?
No, us people. Now the thing about it is, I don't know what they did as far as what like John Neil Armstrong and them said, because they just said you're not allowed back or whatever. Now I say they still go back to this day because John Lear talks about a HARP machine, a HARP airship that can go from Antarctica. He specifically said Antarctica, that there's a base in Antarctica, a joint coalition forces down there, sponsored by banks. It's a military sponsored by banks. Best of the best down there by banks, big banks.
Okay, and what are they doing?
They have like fucking insane technology. He says there's this one ship, the Aurora, that could go from the Earth to the moon in about 3 minutes. 3 fucking minutes. Not
From
3 days.
Antarctica.
From
From a secret base
from
in
a secret
Antarctica.
base in Antarctica to the moon in about 3 minutes. That's what he says. Now, I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying that's what we have.
Now, is that
But John Lear is a strong fucking guy to follow. And
in any way connected to the conspiracy theory that when the Nazis were defeated and driven out of Germany,
Mm.
they relocated to
Brazil.
secret bases that they had set up in
no,
Antarctica
no.
underground.
No.
Now you've heard this one.
I've heard of that one, but that one has no. That one is more of like a. Let's say his scientists were like, "Fucking Hitler's stupid." Like it's a branch of the Nazis, but it didn't represent Hitler or anything like that.
Well, I mean, it's documented that.
I know, but
we
I
thought.
I don't believe it was. I don't consider them Nazis. It was just like people breaking off from them. Like, let's go do our own thing in Antarctica.
But
type
they
deal.
were affiliated with him.
I don't want to say affiliated. It's because they came from there.
They were former Nazis.
There you go.
Okay.
I give you that.
And
Former
so
Nazis.
you're giving me that they're former Nazis, that they did have a base
Yes.
in Antarctica
Yes.
where they were
They
experimenting
wanted to continue their
on
research.
technology.
Yeah.
All
Now,
right.
as far as the actual Nazis, Hitler died in Brazil
Okay.
because he had an underground train wherever his base was at, and they flew. They said, "Peace out." I mean, anybody wonder why these Brazils have fucking blue eyes, blonde hair, and stuff like that?
There's a whole village where nothing but twins were born.
Yeah, and you know the fucking high rate of UFO reports there? Fucking insane. Here's
Why?
the thing.
You think
'Cause-
they're-
well, the Russians, Hitler had trails.
right?
Hitler had UFOs. He made UFOs during World War II. How fucking awesome is that?
Now, do you
And guess who got them? We have them.
because we got their scientists?
We got everything. We fucking beat them. We have the fucking rights to trophies or whatever. Those UFOs are now ours.
Now, what do you think about the Nazi bell? What do you think about that?
Yeah.
The space, the time travel.
The thing about it
device.
is, there's this one theory that Hitler made a deal with aliens,
Mhm.
or people from up there, right?
Right, right.
Um, Now, I don't know where he got this whole thing that the white race is the supreme race.
From them? No?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know why he would carry that. He could have just easily gone to war for the fuck of it.
Well, they were probably, maybe they were manipulating him.
True, true. But
They knew that
he got this ultimate technology.
They knew
from
he was a
them.
crazy racist.
Yeah,
fuck.
I don't know where he has his ultimate technology. He had jets. Now, he could have won the war with the Vrales alone. The Vrales, like, our allied forces called them, what did they call them? The
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters. Um, he had plasma technology. We just found a way to make that work this fucking decade.
Yeah.
We just barely reverse engineers Hitler's fucking plasma technology for his Vrales this decade. World War II was fucking 40?
Mm-hmm.
It's 2016.
Yep.
We barely understood it. Like, some guy was like, oh, here's the on button. Boom. Got it.
And you think that he had so many other things.
He had so much other things that he wasn't focused on his war anymore. This man was like, this is amazing. This is stuff I want to know.
He had too many things.
He lost focus on the war. He could have won. He had jets. We didn't have jets. We had fucking Oldsmobiles. Like, He had Ferraris.
They had biplanes and stuff like that, yeah.
He could have won it, but he's like, no. Now, the Bell was cool because he was looking into the whole time dimension.
Time travel.
And the Bell could do that.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you believe that they recovered it in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
20 years later.
Yeah. You remember the Einstein's? I think it's funny because you say that it happened in Pennsylvania too. The ship that traveled through time, and when it came back, these fucking Navy guys were just all over the place.
The Philadelphia experiment.
Yes. There was a lot of people that died from fucking those guys. Half a body was coming out of this fucking ships.
They phased in and out of
a time dimension. It was amazing, and I think it's funny because after they got the Bell, now they have a ship going through a time dimension. So that's kind of cool.
They had something to experiment with.
Yeah. And Einstein killed all those guys.
Well, it's going to happen, when you're experimenting with bizarre forces.
Well, to be fair, he said he didn't know he wasn't sure of what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So they sent the best of the best, and they all got wrecked.
Phased right through dimensions.
And they were even saying that there was people that didn't even come back.
Yeah, people that they
didn't came back.
They don't know what happened.
They're just they're with the Flash right now in the fucking time force.
They're in some other alternate parallel Earth or somewhere. Who knows where
You're probably right.
Who knows? Now, it recently, a scientist did come out, and it was in a paper, in a magazine, okay, a real magazine, and it was kind of news. It came out in like the UK and all that stuff. That they did discover that there is a possibility of parallel universe.
Well, the thing about that is, they'll talk about how aliens, right? How they live in 5 or 6 dimensions at a time.
Right.
Now, to us, that's a brain fucking buster. How can you live in 5 or 6 dimensions in one single time? That's insane. And that's where they get the theory of the dimensions, obviously.
Yep.
Parallel Earths.
Now, how did they get to that? They put there was an atom that they put into it was a machine, and they vibrated it. They have vibrated it so fast that it literally started to phase in and out of being.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it went for those. Where it was going. Where was it going? It's impossible for it to be there and then not there. Where did it go? So they did a scan on it, and they realized that it was there, but now that there was more of them. There was an infinite
amount.
A number of them. But they were all existing in the same spot.
They were in a dimension of frequency, in a dimension of maybe 2D, something that we can't see or understand, because we're 3D, obviously. This is physical.
Here. But if they were able to scan what we're doing here, they would see that there's infinite numbers of Big Lazes and the Generals probably doing a show, right? In different realms.
Yeah.
So they did an experiment, and they said, there is a possibility of parallel universes existing.
That's where I believe the Philadelphia experiment. That's where they went.
Exactly.
That's where they went because when they came back, shit. I mean, 7 people gone. You got a guy that just merged with the ship. He died instantly when they came back.
Now, wouldn't that make the idea of aliens visiting Earth a lot more plausible?
Yes.
Because
yes.
now their big argument about these from the skeptics is that it's so far away from another star to here. Right?
The thing about it is, so many people that get abducted, so many people that have encounters or whatever, they all say the same thing. Yeah, it's far away, but they simply travel through a black hole.
or they
And
simply
it's
come from another dimension.
True.
That is here.
But a lot of them say traveling through a black hole can do that too. Spit you out another time of the same dimension or another dimension completely.
Yep. And then you get there, and there's Sam Neill.
Like, oh, this wasn't part of the deal, man.
Damn it.
No,
I thought that was just a movie.
I like my eyes.
And then you realize it is a movie here, but in another dimension, that's real.
It's real.
It really did happen.
And you're probably gonna die.
It really did happen. He's like, I don't know who Sam Neill is, but we're gonna take your eyes. You know.
Where we're going, we don't need eyes. All right. Well,
now that was a very interesting movie. I like that movie only because of the idea behind it.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. They went to hell.
The idea is that yes, they made a ship that could create its own black hole, and I don't think they necessarily went to hell, but they went to an alternate universe
that was pretty hardcore.
That was really hardcore.
They went to the Hellraiser
universe.
Yeah.
He was there, but maybe he was out to lunch that day. But but yes, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Wherever they went.
Well, I guess we'll go ahead and stop with the I mean, we'll be back.
You
next
guys
week.
are too spooked out yet. We will be back with another segment.
We'll come back next week. I mean, we can get deeper and harder in this one, but
don't get too scared.
I mean, just have an open mind about this because you're right. We're talking about issues that are fucking old compared to the new theories that are out there. But we'll get to those.
We'll get them.
We'll just see how these do. So, if you're still here, awesome sauce.
And we'll be beyond.
We'll be in another dimension when we come back.